Welcome back to another installment of 5 Greatest, counting down the top 5 of a certain boxing topic. This list is done through research and my personal knowledge of the sport and is based on my opinion only. This week's installment focuses on the 5 greatest boxing trilogies of all time. It is rare that we see boxers fight each other 3 times, but there are instances that 1 and 2 times are just not enough. If the boxers are evenly matched, 3 fights shows who the better man actually is, and the trilogies that these boxers have produced are memorable. Narrowing the list down to the 5 best was hard, so the honorable mentions are Emil Griffith vs. Benny Paret, Muhammad Ali vs. Ken Norton, Sugar Ray Leonard vs. Roberto Duran, Manny Pacquiao vs. Eric Morales, Tony Zale vs. Rocky Graziano, Humberto Gonzalez vs. Michael Carbajal, Barney Ross vs. Jimmy McLarnin, Jeff Harding vs. Dennis Andreas, Roberto Duran vs. Esteban de Jesus, and Ezra Charles vs. Jersey Joe Walcott. Number 5. Evander Holyfield vs. Riddick Bowe. 2 top heavyweights in the prime of their careers, Holyfield and Bowe met for the first time when both were undefeated. They put together an astonishing toe-to-toe fight, ending in a Bowe decision that warranted a rematch. Holyfield won the close rematch by majority decision to set up a third match between the two, ending by 8th round knockout victory for Riddick Bowe. Number 4. Floyd Patterson vs. Ingemar Johansson. The trilogy between Patterson and Johansson produced 3 exciting fights that had back and forth action as well as plenty of knockdowns. The first fight resulted in a big heavyweight upset, with Johansson claiming the heavyweight title after knocking Patterson down 7 times in the third. Patterson got his revenge in the second and third fights, knocking Johansson out in the middle rounds of each fight. Number 3. Arturo Gatti vs. Micky Ward. The Gatti-Ward trilogy is one that modern boxing fans will remember. Both Gatti and Ward were not the most skilled fighters, but had more heart and determination than anyone. People expected a good fight between Gatti and Ward the first time they fought, but what they received was one of the best fights in boxing history and led to 2 more all-action fights that fans remember to this day. Number 2. Marco Antonio Barrera vs. Eric Morales. 2 Mexican legends who didn't like one another, Barrera and Morales put together 3 of the most memorable fights in recent memory. They fought at the peak of their careers and brought the best out of each other. All 3 fights were closely contested matches, with Barrera winning 2 and Morales 1. Their first and third fights of the trilogy were fights of the year. Number 1. Muhammad Ali vs. Joe Frazier. The ultimate rivals Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier produced the best trilogy in boxing history. Their first fight, named the Fight of the Century, was fought when both Ali and Frazier were undefeated champions. Frazier won a majority of the rounds and scored a knockdown in the 15th round to seal the unanimous decision. In the rematch, Ali boxed masterfully, hurting Frazier in the second round and winning a completely one-sided unanimous decision. A year after Ali shocked the boxing world by knocking out George Foreman, he met Frazier in the deciding rubber match named the Thrilla in Manila. This was the most brutal of the 3 fights, with both fighters taking huge shots from each other and having to deal with heat exhaustion. Ali won the fight by 14th round technical knockout after trainer Eddie Futch wouldn't allow Frazier to come out for the 15th. Thanks for watching this video, and leave your comments on what you think have been the 5 greatest trilogies in boxing history and what you think of this list.